Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. It's been a great week. We're going to wrap it up with a good show. Got a special guest here in the studio. Got a famous Friday fishing forecast. Got a Tarpon Dock seafood drawing. Just a good show lined up. So let's get started with our weather, brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Road and Highway 77. They're going to have some big activities coming on soon. We're going to try to get Mike Heppenstall to come on the show pretty soon and talk about all the things they're doing there. Some exciting things happening at Haney Technical Center. High today, 63, low tonight, 52. So we're in that little small window, about a 10-degree change. Not much going on there. But the biggest thing, I'm just looking here at the water temperature. It has just shot up. They're calling today the water temperature is 62. Last week it was 57, and back in February it's like 55. So it's made a jump the last couple of days. So keep an eye on that. We're looking at that magic number 66, 67, and all kinds of things going to start happening. And once it starts going up now, you look at the charts. I've charted the past years, and it will start going up pretty fast. The river readings. Take a look at our river readings now. They've been really high, but they're falling out. But the Appalachian Coast is going to level out, and it's still going to be high. Now, it's going to read this morning at a 13.8. So the river is going to be high if you're planning any kind of weekend fishing on the big river. Same way in Choctawhatchee. It's leveled out too, but it's at a 9.9 this morning, and it's going to stay that way all weekend long. So that's our river readings. Now, the tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. We're looking at their times this morning is high tide at 1:45 and a low tide at 12:53. And their motto at Kent Forest Lawn is when carrying counts. And good folks down there right here on 23rd Street. Look at the marine forecast now. It's going to be southwest at about 12 miles per hour. All right. Now let's go ahead and do our fishing game times at the top of the hour. A lot of times once we start doing that fishing report, we don't get to it. So on Fridays I've started doing it on the top of the hour. Okay. It's brought to us by Mark Coward of Edgewater Beach Realty. Mark's an excellent fisherman himself, and he'll probably be doing some red fishing this weekend. I'm guessing he and Michael will get out. And we're looking at our times at 4:37 and 6:37 this morning, and this evening 5:03 to 7:03. So when you get off work this afternoon, it's on a Friday, I'll take those 2 hours. If you get off at 5 o'clock, just go straight to somewhere in the water. Okay. Now we'll give a big shout out to Sea Quarters Marina down in Carabel. Always help us out on our show, and the good folks down there. I know they're getting ready to be kicking off some good fishing down there. I'm talking about offshore, inshore, kayaking, canoeing. You can do all of that around the Carabel area. If you haven't been to Carabel, around Sea Quarters Marina is a special place. So go by and check those folks out. Let's take our break. We'll be back with our guest. Welcome back, and welcome Brad Stevens.
Good morning, Coach.
All right, Brad. Brad, are you feeling a little bit under the weather this morning?
I'm fighting one of them daggone sinus infections.
Well, you're a trooper. You got up here, and you ready to roll.
I was afraid you'd come to my house and film in my living room or something if I didn't.
Yeah, you told me you almost called me right before the show. That would have put me in a bind.
I did. So guilty as charged, but okay. I'm here.
We're glad you're here. So what's going on at Sun Jammers?
Man, just people are starting to kayak again. Thank goodness. It was a long, cold winter. We all just about froze.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people. We've been telling everybody, don't wait. The season's going to bust loose here really quick, and we're going to have we're going to run a product like we do every year. And this year it looks like it's going to be a little earlier than later, because people are already starting to roll. You can only sit up inside for so long, and the next thing you know, it's time to get on the water.
Last weekend the weather got nice. Last weekend the water was still cold, but we talked about so many people got out last weekend and did. I saw kayakers out there, I saw boaters out there, but the fishermen didn't do all that well because the water was still cool. But people did get out. They went to the beach. They went to Shell Island.
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of boats. We live there on the bay there at St. Andrews. I've seen almost like summertime boat traffic running to Shell Island.
Yeah.
Our Facebook feed's just slam full of people, taking their kids to Shell Island already. It's unbelievable. It's wonderful.
And my crew, I was telling you before we came on the air, my crew came down about 2 or 3 weeks ago and got all the kayaks out, and they just went out on the bay and just had a ball.
Oh, yeah.
So we're about to bust out with it.
And speaking of a lot of people getting their kayaks out, a lot of people are waiting till, man, we're going out this weekend, and they realize they got a problem with their kayak, and they're bringing it in. Can I get it tomorrow? Well, we got right now we're on about a 4-day turnaround I'm getting, the Mirage drives tuned up, the rudders, working. Most of these boats we're working on, they're boats that are 7, 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
So, they haven't done anything to them. It's just a testimony to the Hobie kayaks. You really don't have to do anything to them.
I know, and I can be a testimonial to that. Like right now, in fact, you get me fired up already. I may go, I started to say I go this weekend, but I've got a big quail hunt. I'm leaving right after school up to Quincy to our big annual quail hunt, but maybe Sunday afternoon I might get my kayak out.
There you go.
Because it should be, ribbon nice and all. But any new innovations, anything coming on, that's always fascinates me. Always every year some little things they're adding to them. And I always think is that they find the way they are.
Absolutely. The 2014 Hobie kayaks are what they call Lowrance ready. You can put DSI bottom machines on, which are down and side scan imagery, and it just paints a picture of the bottom. Unbelievable. And the kayaks are designed to take that transducer underneath, so you don't have to worry about any aftermarket bolt-ons or anything. It's really slick. We installed a couple this week.
Now that would be cool to get a kayak and then just paddle over something and take a look at it and all.
It's a lot of fun. It's fun out in the Gulf, out in the creeks. Out in the Gulf. But what I like is getting back in the creeks. You spotting them holes, with old cypress stump or something down there.
That's the thing about it.
Beautiful.
The Lowrance shows that all that structure and all. Now, old days they didn't, but now you can see the log and everything is sticking out.
Yeah, absolutely.
That adds a new dimension and all. Now, Hobie, the 2014 is already out, of course.
Absolutely.
And color combination and all about the same.
Yep, they didn't have any color changes this year. The golden papaya is still one of our most popular, but you have about every color known to man.
Yeah,
I think you got all 5 colors.
We got rainbow colors
in y'all's quiver. But we got a lot of colors. We're working on constantly ordering from Hobie. So if you got something you're hunting, come in. If you already have a Hobie, you want some accessories, some extra rod holders, an anchor trolley kit, turbo fins. Go out there to the crew, the guys out there on Highway 79, and they'll take care of you and get you anything you need bolted on.
I was going to talk to you about each year. I'm thinking about getting a little live well to go on mine, and how are those doing? The little live wells?
They work all right. I'll be honest with you. I use a Flow and Go bait bucket.
Okay.
It's the yellow bait bucket.
That's what I use. I have the same thing, but I always think about getting one of those on there too.
Live wells work great, but we talk as many people out of them as into them.
Well, you're not going to make any money doing that.
That's what my wife keeps telling me.
Well, you're being honest with them.
Absolutely.
That goes a lot further than anything else. Okay, the paddles and all, everything pretty well set on paddles?
Yep, absolutely. We have the largest paddle selection. In the Panhandle probably, Bending Branches, Aquabound. There's a third one, Adventure Technology.
Okay.
We have the best paddles. If you have a Wilderness or a Tarpon 120 or something like that, a good paddle goes a long way in a paddle boat.
Yeah. And don't forget the anchors. You still have some little anchors and all?
Do have little anchors. What I've been using is little 4 or 5 pound pyramid weights, like you throw for a marker buoy offshore. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm using these days. Just a little 4 or 5 pound weight, just toss it over.
Mm-hmm. And I tell you, one of my best I found over the years fishing with them is really just get in a drift with the wind.
Absolutely. And
just drift across those flats and all, and then paddle back, make a circle, paddle back, and drift back across there.
And make the really, really long cast.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's good. All right, we're going to take our break, and we'll be right back. I got some pictures to show you, too. All right, welcome back. So here with Brad Stevens from Sunjammers right out there. Tell folks where you're located, honey.
315 North Highway 79, just 3 blocks north of Back Beach Road on the left. Bright blue building, look for all the kayaks.
Can't miss it. Now, I didn't get to talk to last month we didn't get hooked up, but how was your Christmas? All the girls, all the kids?
Man, the kids had a wonderful Christmas.
Yeah.
We're blessed beyond belief.
Yeah. And they're growing.
Growing like weeds.
Yeah. We got to get them to come on the show one day and maybe sing for us or something.
Man, you don't want to hear my kids sing. They sing like I do.
Okay. All right, let's do some pictures or something, okay? Don't forget, I talked about this yesterday. Holmes Creek Baptist Church up there, we're going to talk about it more, but having the 11th annual Wild Game Feast and Camo Sunday. They're going to be giving all kinds of 2-day Saturday, Sunday affair, and we're going to try to get the folks to come down. Great guest speaker. I just want to show that to you, so go and put it on your calendar. I certainly hope I can make it there on that Sunday morning service. I would love to come there and be with you folks. All right, next picture. Just want to show you this picture. Don't get excited now. This was last year's picture, but it's some group of fishermen last year who had a really good time. I was just showing to you. So start getting a fever because sheephead they're about here. I mean, they're about to come out in February, late February, early March. It's an excellent time. This next picture, I'm going to have to read this email. This is funny. Okay, this is a great picture. But I'm going to read your email. Mr. Chester, I'm attaching a picture of my mama, Barbara Carroll, and her 7-point killed February 15th in Holmes County. She took up hunting about 5 years ago, and the rest of us are having a hard time keeping up. This is her 3rd deer of the season, with the first 2 both being 6 points. Mama has always loved to fish, but after she retired and took up deer hunting, she found she does not have to wait for us to bring home a big buck. She just does it herself. This is Chris Carroll. And also he wrote, we enjoy your show. Thank you, Chris, and congratulations, Barbara Carroll, and way to show that family how to hunt. That's a big buck right there, Brad.
That's a good one, that's for sure.
Good job. Holmes County buck. All right, just real quick, I want to mention water temperature. This is just average, and looking, we're starting to go up. Look at March and April at the bottom. We're just about to start kicking this. Of course, there's nothing earth-shattering news on that, but we're going to keep you posted on our water temperature, okay? And then the first gator picture of the year, okay? Tom Gurley sent this. We took it yesterday at St. Andrews State Park. First gator he's seen this year, he said. All right? Now, getting back to fishing and photography and all that out of a kayak, I'll tell you, just something special fishing out of a kayak.
Oh, absolutely.
It really,
you know, especially the Mirage Drive, you're hands free. Mm-hmm. You know, you can pedal along the average pace you walk, but the effort in pedaling, you're 3.5, 4 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. Little toggle switch on the side to steer. Got a rod or a camera lens or something, mm-hmm. you know, in your hand, and it's something special, and you know, you can catch little fish and still have fun. You know, you go out on a boat and you get, you know, we all have days like that where you get caught up on 12, 13, 14-inch speckled trout. Mm-hmm. They start to get old. And a kayak, they never get old. It's unbelievable.
Uh-huh. And the thing about it, they're so quiet. I think that's maybe when you're going up a creek or something. I maybe goes back to my roots and all. Years ago, I had a canoe as a kid and all, and it's real quiet and all, and it brings back the same feeling.
Yep. It's quiet, you know, and if you haven't kayaked in the last 10 years, mm-hmm. you really don't know what you're missing. Kayaks have come so far. They're super stable. They're super dry. They you know, if you get a paddle kayak, you know, not a Hobie Mirage Drive, just a regular paddle kayak, they paddle so much better than they did 10, 15, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. You know, technology really got a hold of kayak, and you know, and they just literally just blow through the water. The Jackson kayaks have really comfortable seats. Mm-hmm. They're elevated seats. You know, your bottom will never get wet kayaking again. You know, and that's the truth.
You know, we talk about each year about making New Year's resolutions for outdoors and all, and certain goals you want to do. And of course, one of mine was hunt St. Vincent Island. If you remember, I put it down last year, and we got to do it this year, so I was excited. But another one of mine is to take my kayak down there to Carabel, where you folks, I know we talk about it every time we come down there, and get on that new river and paddle through Tate's Hell and through the Apalachicola National Forest.
That'd be a lot of fun.
And we want to do that. So that's one of my goals. Maybe we'll get to it this summer. The thing about summertime, the bugs get really bad.
They do. There's a lot of technology out in clothing these days. You can get long sleeve clothing that has insect repellent built into it, where you don't smell it, you don't feel it. Sims makes some really good products, you know, to keep bugs off of you. It's really, really, really innovative stuff.
Well, you know, and something else I want to do this year too, and we ride around the corner. We're talking about sheephead, but I mean, Spanish mackerel about it, and you'll see it out from your house.
Oh, absolutely.
When the boats start lining up out there. But Spanish mackerel will be fun to catch out of a kayak.
Absolutely, they pull you. You know, they're easy. It's nonstop action. You know, when the Spanish come there in St. Andrews behind the house, I'll take Lily, and I'll put her in my lap, and she just literally gets tired of catching Spanish. You know, it's hard to make a 4.5-year-old get tired of reeling in fish, but Spanish mackerel on a hot bite.
I was going to ask you, do you do much trolling with your kayak?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I'm going to try that again this year too. I did a little bit of it year before last, and I enjoyed it. But you got to sort of catch the wind right and just paddle and
yeah. Well, the wind doesn't overly affect the Hobie kayaks. You know, so you can paddle into the wind, sideways to the wind. It really doesn't matter. We troll, you know, for a lot of kingfish in the Gulf. Get out just past the sandbar, just, you know, lob a cigar minnow out on a stinger rig, hang on, and just start pedaling. And hang on tight.
Yeah, that's a special thrill.
It is. A big king in a kayak's a lot of fun.
Several places to launch a kayak. Just talking about St. Andrew Bay, talking about you could go there in St. Andrew. You can launch it there. Cargray Park.
Yep.
St. Andrew State Park. Those three spots there will get you out there where the Spanish mackerel are going to be.
Absolutely. And, you know, but if you launch it at the state park, be conscious of all the boat traffic.
That's true.
There's a lot of kayakers. In the past, this is when the Spanish start running through there, and I'm just scared to death somebody's going to get run over. So be really, safety. Wear bright colored shirts. Get safety flags. Just be on top of it and be really aware of all your surroundings.
Yeah, good point. Excellent point. And also down in St. Joe, put down in St. Joe boat ramp right there, St. Joe Marina.
Yep.
And you go out there, they have the same situation. You can put it under the bridge there at Highland View. And that's something I need to do too. Just fish that area right up under there.
It's good fishing.
That would be excellent kayak.
Kayaking. If you got a 3-foot slot to the water, you can launch a kayak. That's the beauty of kayak fishing.
Yep.
You can launch almost anywhere. Put them on the bed of your truck, on top of your car. You go. You don't need a boat ramp. You don't have to worry about backing in. It's very, very simplistic fishing.
So they can come out there and see y'all about any time. What's your hours?
We're open 7 to 5 and we're closed on Sundays.
7 to 5 and closed on Sundays. Good. Even on Saturdays at 5 o'clock?
Yep.
Oh man.
7 to 5 on Saturdays.
Okay. All right. Look. Let's draw. Let's get ready to draw for Tarpon Dog. I'm gonna let Brad do the drawing. And I've had some happy people. And a lot of people now send them emails thanking Tarpon Dock and us and all for doing this. This is going to be for $20, Brad.
All right.
Draw somebody who's going to be happy about it.
They're all going to be happy.
Okay, $20. First one will be $20 gift certificate of Tarpon Dock Seafood. Margaret Taylor, Panama City Beach. All right. Today we are February 21st. Man, February about over. It'll be over next week.
It's over.
All right, this is a big red snapper.
Big red snapper.
Everybody likes these big red snappers. Ron Mellison up there in Lynn Haven. So Panama City Beach and Lynn Haven had 2 big winners. Last week, both winners from out of town. So this week, both winners are in Bay County. So that shows how we get spread out. Thank you so much for entering the contest, and thank Tarpon Dock Seafood. Let's go ahead and we're going to take our break, and we'll set up for our famous Friday fishing forecast. All right, welcome back, folks, to our famous Friday fishing forecast. Sitting here with Brad. I'd like to have Brad in because he hears a lot of stuff at the shop and also. Let's start on our western end over in Choctawhatchee Bay. The biggest thing right now going on in Choctawhatchee Bay, the water temperature warming up, but we're talking about getting the drift and all. And Choctawhatchee Bay has some nice grass flats. And what you want to do, you get a south wind like this weekend and all, you want to try to drift across these flats. If you're in a kayak or a boat, you just make a big circle and come back and just drift across these grass flats because the speckled trout bite has been pretty good over there, according to the sources I talked to. Now, Brad, let's move on down to Intercoastal, which I haven't heard a whole lot about Intercoastal.
I haven't either. I think that West Bay's just been so productive. People ain't been running up in the Intercoastal. I'm sure if you're up there, anywhere around the rock piles, any of that stuff, it's all productive. They're starting to catch a few sheep's head around the West Bay Bridge. Then sliding out into West Bay. All this bank right down here is all being very, very productive. That same thing, big grass flats. Southwest wind, south wind. Just get a drift up, and just keep working, covering a lot of water. Like always, back in the hot water canal, if you got kids, back in there's just nonstop action for the kids. Catching good speckled trout.
Yeah, and also moving on into here, going toward North Bay and all. There's been some good dock fishing over here, and Pretty Bayou and all. But I want to get back to what Brad said. This area right in here, West Bay, is a very productive bay, just in general. And if you can catch the wind right and all, these areas up in here across where the 2 creeks, and we always talk about the 2 creeks feeding out, and the spaces in between, all these points here, these are all excellent points, and we have some decent reports. Right now, I was telling Brad, the air temperature really warmed up this past weekend, but a lot of people went out, but the water temperature is still cold, so they didn't do all that well.
Nope.
And I had a lot of people, I wouldn't say struck out because you never struck out when you go out, but they didn't catch as many as they thought. Moving on down, let's go about sort of out in front of your house. Anything going on yet? The Spanish hadn't showed up before.
No Spanish. It's a little early still for the Spanish. You need to admit that first few weeks of March, which we're close. We're a couple weeks out from the Spanish probably. It's foggy enough for the Spanish to have shown up. For some reason, them Spanish come in the fog.
I know it. Okay, and of course, Crooked Island Sound is always a solid place in the Crooked Island Sound. Let's move on down to Mexico Beach. We always get a good report from Captain Mitch Coleman. I'm going to read his report out of Mexico Beach right here now. Mitch Coleman, he's with Florida Days Adventures. He reported warming down there. Water temperature is 61 degrees there. And now he's starting to see a little bit of bait along the beaches. and they're looking for pompano soon. The canal is producing whiting and sheephead on fresh shrimp. Near shore, the artificial reefs are holding flounders and a good number of white snapper, both caught on strip baits near the bottom. Offshore water temperature is 68 degrees. Red grouper bite is good. They're catching them on squid and northern mackerel, and the age is starting to show up in the 80 to 100 foot. So that's a good report from Mexico Beach. But speaking of the canal, going on down there to the canal right here, let's move on in. I was there last weekend. I took a good look at it, and actually took some pictures off there. I didn't have my boat with me, but you can put your boat in right here under the bridge, and like I say, you can run up in here and do some good fishing, or you can run right out here, and the flounder bite has been pretty good. Then you go, if you want some deep water bite, when the kings start running, they're going to be down here by the St. Joe old shipyard wall right there. Blair Morgan, I talked to Blair Morgan Wednesday morning in his report. Again, the surf fishing down there on Cape San Blas has been good. It's always steady there around the stump hole. I was by there Saturday afternoon. I bet I saw close to 100 people.
Oh, wow.
But listen, about 90 of them were walking around in circles, just the tourists, and they were just excited. I could tell. They were just looking around, seeing just the excitement of being. It's a beautiful place, and about 7 or 8 were fishing. But so that's a good sign. So the whiting bite's still good. But overall now, I had some good pictures this week. We're talking about the pictures. Brant Marshall sent some good pictures. Justin Leake, Matt Smith. They all caught some redfish Monday and Tuesday afternoon. And I had them on Panhandle Outdoors. So that's some good right there. So we got about 30 seconds left. What we'll be looking forward to this week?
The flounder bite on the piers. A lot of people are starting to catch flounder moving in. You know, we got some pretty bull minnows out there. You know, and the kayakers going out just past the sandbars and catching quite a few flounder as well.
Already.
So I mean, it's not a big hot bite. You know, they're going out there, you know, in a day catching 5 or 6 flounder.
Well, that's good.
That's
good.
Good.
So what all you have at your shop as far as
we got shrimp and bull minnows, and then we got crickets, freshwater fishing starting to pick back up a little bit,
good.
And I believe we got some worms in still as well.
Very good. All right, run by, check them out, folks. Thank y'all for watching us this week. It's been a great week on the show. We appreciate your viewership. You do something good for somebody today. Thanks, Brad.
Thank you, Coach.
We'll see y'all, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.